Hello again YouTubers, welcome to another episode of Andy Outdoors. This is quite a special episode. I'm going to do survival at S.O.S. I'm going to dramatise some parts of it. I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. I've been wanting to make a video like this for a while. The scenario is that I've injured my leg and I've got no mobile phone battery left, and I'm going to have to get down somewhere for the night and wait it out and get airlifted in the morning. Okay, some of the techniques I'm going to be using are out of this book, the S.O.S Survival Guide, the Ultimate Guide to Surviving Anywhere, written by John Lofty Wiseman. Okay, most people know about the rule of threes: 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. In John Lofty Wiseman's book, there's also an acronym P.L.A.N. P, protection; L, location; A, acquisition; N, navigation. Now, although I'm not in a survival situation just as yet, one of the first things I need to do is acquire some water. I've been walking for about 3 hours, I haven't got any water, so I'm going to show you two techniques of processing your water, two very simple techniques, and also how to carry water. I've come to an area where there's water. Now, the first thing I'm looking for is water quality, and I know that in the middle there you can probably just see one poking over there. Just there is what's known as cattails, or some people call them bulrushes. That's a sure sign that the quality of the water is good. Also, on my approach to this area, I've seen ducks. Duck flew off. So again, ducks tend not to go where there's polluted water. The water does look a little bit brown. That's not a concern, that's just vegetation rotting down. We are in winter. So there's also food here. If I was to wade out and put my hand down to the roots, pull the roots up of the cattails, the roots are edible. Also, the top half of the flower is edible. You know, all the flour, all the brown sausage-like flour, that's edible. I've seen people make like a scrambled egg kind of thing out of it. Right, so we need to collect some water. Now, I'm surviving with what's on my person. So this is my comprehensive survival kit in here. I've got a first aid kit, I've got water purification, obviously I've got my schmuck, I've got some more items in here. I've got my RAV power charger, spare batteries for the camera obviously, and a couple more bits and pieces in there. But I will go through everything that I'm wearing, everything that I've got on my person in a little while. Okay, in my haversack I have a 1 litre metal container. I'm just going to collect some water in this and not process it just yet. Okay, the water looks fairly clear, and I've got a litre of water. Okay, I've got another water bottle here, just a plastic one. And on my person, I'm carrying a quick and effective way of processing water. The S.O.S mini system. Now the water does look to have quite a lot of material in it, debris, but this filter will sort any of that out. Okay, this bottle is a 200 ml size bottle. There is some water in there already, and I do know that with this bottle it takes 2 of these to fill it up. You don't have to use a water bottle, you can drink it straight out of the bag just like this. No foul taste, tastes like just water. Okay, so I keep my whole system in a dry bag. I've got the plunger for back flushing the filter. I've got the straw that fits on to that bit, so you can use it like that, straight from source. I keep a little elastic band on the bag, on the squeeze bag itself, and that, the filter. Keep all that together. It takes up no room, and it doesn't weigh anything. Okay, one other way you can collect water is obviously if you're using ration packs, you can use the Ziploc bag that the ration pack comes in, you know, your main meals. These are ration pack heaters. I bought these separately. They didn't come up with a ration pack. Basically it's just a bag. There's a bag of chemicals in the bottom of it, and just rip it open. The way you're supposed to use it is put your ration pack in there, your ration meal. You've got a little bag of chemicals. You put some water into the mark on it, and there's a chemical. You fold it over. There's a chemical reaction that heats up that little pouch and basically cooks your meal. I'm going to be using one of them later on, but for now I'm just going to use it as a water container. So I'm going to keep this bag. Now this bag needs to remain dry, otherwise you're going to get the chemical reaction happening. You put it in your pocket and it's raining, it's going to heat up quite rapidly. But today it's not raining, so now I've got a bag. This is just to show you how that the water source is coloured. There's a lot of debris in there, but in a survival situation you could use this bag. One thing that most people always carry on them is paracord. You could do that, put some paracord around it. Maybe if you've got spare clothing, like I've got a fleece in my bag, put it in the fleece, make sure it's not going to leak, and you've got yourself some water. So I've just drunk that water using the S.O.S mini water filtration system. That's what I was drinking, that colour of water, that's what I was drinking, and it's done the job. When I was putting it into this container as you can see, it's perfectly clear compared to that one. So it does work. So they're just a few ways of collecting water. Now if you're going to use one of these bags to heat your food, you don't need to use clean water, because your ready to eat meal is in its own pack and sealed. You could use dirty water in here, that wouldn't be an issue. Oh no. Ah. Oh, come on, come on. Okay, very poor acting, I know. But the scenario is, I've injured my leg. Something just clicked, wasn't right. I don't think I've broken it, but I'm not very mobile now. The first thing I did was take some painkillers. The second thing I did was deal with the actual the wound itself, and the third is try and raise help. Now my phone's dead. I have got my rev power charge on me, and it'll probably take about 5 to 10 minutes for me to get some charge into that phone so I could raise the alarm. The scenario is now my phone's dead. I'm going to leave it charge overnight. Now whenever you go outdoors and you're going to be for a long period, tell someone where you're going, your expected route that you're going to take, and most importantly when you'll be back. Now before I came today, and every time I go out I let my missus know where I'm going to be, or the rough location, and how long I'm going to be. Now my missus is at work. She knows that I'm doing an overnight camp. She's at work, and it's going to be, she'll go to work tomorrow as usual. If I haven't got a mobile phone signal, it's going to be possibly tomorrow night before she can raise the alarm, or she may even think he's going to be out for an extra night. After the third night, she'll probably, alarm bells will start ringing and she'll raise the alarm. Hopefully it never comes to that. So the scenario is, like I've said, I've injured my leg. I'm going to be stuck out here all night. Now I don't want to be out in the open. There's a possibility I'm on a footpath. There's a possibility a dog walker may come past, or I could be spotted by someone walking. But I'm not going to do that scenario today. The scenario is I need to choose somewhere to be overnight, to get down overnight. I'm going to be testing some new systems as well while I'm doing this video. So my next thing, I don't want to be out in the open. I need somewhere to get down. So navigation. I've got a map in my bag. I know there's some woods roughly in that direction over there. That's where I'm going to head. just walking across a normal field, not even through harsh terrain. What would take me 10 minutes has just taken me 35 minutes just to cross one field. I am at the woods now, so the next thing I need to be thinking about is plan. I need some protection, but I need the right location as well. I don't need to acquire anything, I don't need to navigate, so I'll just need P and L. Protection and location. I'm in a location now that's not too far away from that field. That's where I'll get airlifted from. I'll come into the woods just a short distance away, and in this area is surrounded by litter. Survival situation, you use anything you can get your hands on. Found an old tin here, I'm going to turn that into something later on. So I've chosen my area, my location. So in my plan, P.L.A.N, first thing I need is protection. Now it's not raining at the moment, but I want to get this shelter up as soon as I can. If it was raining, that would be the first thing up, and then I'd go foraging for whatever else I need. Now, with an injury, it's going to take you 3-4 times longer than normal. Okay, what I've done so far is dragged all the dead leaves and what have you from over there, and dragged them all from over there and put them into a pile just here. I've procured 2 sticks, one there and one the other side, and that I'm going to use for, I've got a foil blanket with me as well. I'm going to put the foil blanket down, reflective side up, and then just pin it down with them two sticks. So what I'm going to do now is just go down there in that area and get some dry bracken just to put on the top of this. Okay guys, when gathering bracken, just be aware that brambles love to live in amongst the ferns, bracken, so just, I mean, these gloves aren't ideal, really. You need some good outside working gloves. But I've gathered enough now, and I think that'll be okay for a bed tonight. So what I'm going to do now is put the storm shelter up, and you can see what that's like. Okay, so this is the Andy's storm shelter. This is the bag that it comes in, but it's also the vent. Got a little carry handle, weighs next to nothing, and as you can see, it's very compact. Now the idea with these is basically in inclement weather, you pull it out, 2 people usually. This is a 2-person one. Basically, you get in it something like that. Now it does have 2 seated areas which are black, and one there, and it's got a pull cord so you can cinch it all down. But like I say, today I'm going to be using it as an emergency tent. So I'm going to use my walking poles to do that, and a little bit of paracord that I brought, and some tent pegs, which will always be with this anyway. Right, okay guys, that's what the emergency shelter looks like. Just used the 2 walking sticks either side, just took some guidelines out. Now might have to clear some of this, some of the debris that I've put down, because I think I may have just put a little bit too much down. Yeah, I may need to clear some of this out. But next is, this is a S.O.S emergency blanket. The S.O.S emergency blanket, I have had it out once and it does go back in this, no problem. But on the back there you can see what it's used for. First aid, gear cover, shelter or a ground tarp. Now I'm going to use it as a ground tarp, like I said, with the reflective side up so it's reflecting all the heat back to me. Okay, so that's all it is. Orange on one side, silver on the other. Doesn't make that much noise. Some mylar blankets make a lot of noise when you crease them and crinkle them. This is not too bad. So I'm just going to lay that in there now and just hold it down with a couple of sticks either side. Okay, that's it up, guys. It's going to be quite tight and small in there, but again, this isn't designed to sleep in. This is only designed to get you out of a storm, let you have a bit of a reprieve. So I've just pegged it out there and there. Now I realise when I get in I'm going to have to undo them pegs and put them back. I've pegged down the other side as well, roughly in the same place. I have actually put a little slit in the fabric. It is a ripstop, so it shouldn't rip any further than what the hole I've made. Like I say, two little windows, one either side, one that side and one that side, and that's me. If I just put you up here, you can see the size of it. The size of it compared to me. So it is quite small. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoot off in the woods up there as far as I can, and then see what it's like. If it's well, it's orange, so it's going to be very visible. Oh, coincidentally, these things on here, the cross on the top is reflective stripping as well. So I'm going to disappear up there, and then we'll see what it looks like from in the deep woods. Okay, I'm about 100 metres away now, and it's still very visible. The camera's probably not picking up very well, but I'll just zoom in down there. You can see it there. So this is from a little track that's in the woods the gamekeeper uses for his quad bike. That's about 100 metres away in dense woodland, so not too bad. Okay, going back to our little scenario, here's my RAV power charger. I need to get my phone on charge. I've got two cables in here just in case one fails. It is fully charged, 4 blue lights on the front, and it does have a torch as well, which is a nice little feature. Okay, so all I do with this is plug it into any port. It is a smart charger, so when your phone is charged it will let you know, and it'll stop charging. Well, it won't let you know, but it'll stop charging. It won't overcharge your phone. So what I usually do, that into there. It is now charging. I don't know if you can see it, just in this corner here. So that's charging now. What I usually do is put it back in there, and then put it in my jacket somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to get a bit peckish. I'm going to use this ration pack heater for the main meal, which is Thai style chicken soup. I've got my rice pudding now. I did use one of these before, didn't I, to collect water, to demonstrate collecting water with stuff that you've got on you. So the rice pudding, both of these can be ate cold, but I'm going to have the soup, and I'm going to use this. So all we do, rip the top of the bag. Now halfway down here there's a little pull tab, if I can, it's an adhesive pull tab. So all you do is you slide your main meal in, so there's my meal in there now. You can just see on the side there. I'm going to put this bag in there as well, and then just fill it up to where the watermark is, which is here. fill level line only. Literally doesn't take that much water. So you can see the water level is just there. So it's a little bit higher than what it suggests. That should be okay. Next thing you do is you roll your bag over, use the little tab to seal it, and then you're supposed to put it at I think it's a slight angle, so about that. So hopefully within, they say about 12 minutes, it should be ready. The time now is 5 o'clock, so I've only got about half an hour to an hour sunlight left, or daylight should I say. It's not actually sunny, and it is threatening to rain at the moment. So we'll come back in 10 minutes, see if it's warmed up. Let's bend the doors back. Sorry folks. So just bend the doors back like that. A bit of rainwater. Then you've got a pull ring at the top. You put a bit of paracord in, little tea light in there, and that's my little lantern. Okay, it's been 3 minutes. And I can hear a crackling going on in there. It's not got warm yet, but I can hear the reaction taking place. Okay, just while my tea's cooking, I decided to open the S.O.S emergency blanket, the S.O.S emergency bivvy. It's made out of the same kind of plastic as what the ground sheet, the blanket's made out of. It's got foil lining. It's got no zip, and it's got taped seams as it says on the what's it. So it's just going to be basically crawl inside that. I'll probably strip down to my base layer for when I do that, and it's unlikely that it's going to go back in this bag. No. So that's how I'm going to use that. Okay, you can see the bag, a lot of steam coming out of it. It's taken a while for it to react. The bag's puffed up. You can hear it, hear the chemical reaction inside. So I reckon it's like 12 minutes from it when it does that. I was getting a bit concerned then because it didn't sound like it was doing anything for a while. So, but obviously it's doing something now. So I'm going to leave it about 10 minutes from that stage now. And it is creating a lot of heat, that is. Yeah. Definitely creating a lot of heat. And keep your hand on it. I'm not going to try and move it too much because it is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Right, okay, this is purely an experiment and I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm led to believe that these things, this is the pouch that's in the ration heater. I'm led to believe that the chemicals in here are flammable. So all I'm going to do is just open it up. I'm just going to tip a small amount there first. I'm going to just see if I can put a spark to it. So some of the military ones might be military heaters might be combustible, but this is certainly isn't. Let's put some magnesium on there as well. Oh, that's just the magnesium burning. No, so it was worth a try. I was led to believe that some of them are combustible. Okay, it's still steaming away there. Still feels very hot. So that's been about 6 minutes, so I'm going to leave it a little bit longer. Right, okay, so well, it's had 20 minutes from when we first started, when I first put the water in. It feels very, very hot. I would imagine all the food's cooked through. So let's just open it up. I think there's been a reaction with the plastic, so it's not going to let me peel it. Oh yeah, there we go. Now it does say tear along this bit. So there's your meal. I'm just going to give it a good. That's gone. The actual pouch thing has gone really hard. Still creating quite a lot of heat, that. So I'm just going to tear along my meal. It looks like baby food, but it is soup. I don't know if the camera can see that without me spilling it. Well, this is this meal my nephew gave me. He's in the cadets, army cadets, so he's given it me to try. And let's see what my verdict is on this. It is an actual meal that the army distributes to the troops. I'm just going to mix it up a little bit. Well, it's hot. That's a start. Yeah, it tastes okay. I've got some lovely big bits of chicken in there, even though it is a soup. You can definitely tell that it's a Thai style. It's got that Thai flavour about it. That is not bad. It was just a freebie that he gave me, but yeah, that's alright. Right, I'm going to finish this, guys. I'll bring you back in a minute. Okay, yeah, that was very nice. I'll put it in my junk bag. These ration pack heaters, by the way, I got them off Amazon. They're by a company called Off the Beaten Track, who also make ready to eat meals. I think there was about £15 for two. It's still hot, that is. I'm going to have to let that cool down. Pardon me. Yeah, they do meals ready to eat as well. And I think there was around about, I think I paid £15 for two. So they are quite pricey, but you don't need to cook anything. You don't need to bring anything to cook with. I mean, all right, I brought my my little pots. If I can get them out. Can't get them out because the spoon and knife stopping them. So I brought my two titanium cups. They both have a lid each. Because in a survival situation you would want some kind of container. Now probably you won't need two, you probably just need one. But like I say, you can find stuff like this and cut the top off and use that to clean it out and use that to boil your water. You know, a lot of it is in survival. A lot of it is using what's around you, using your head, basically. So yeah, that was a nice start to the meal. Now I'm going to try this rice pudding. Again, because I've used one ration heater, I can't heat this up, but I would have heated it up at the same time as the main meal, and then just not opened it till I was ready for it. So now I've got this to try. Don't get a very big portion in this, and it is cold, but it's nice. It's nice and creamy, as you would expect rice pudding to be. Just the amount is about there, so not very much. Okay, it was just this is by Vesti Foods UK Limited, this rice pudding, which they do service the military with ration packs and ready to eat meals. And I thought it was quite creamy. And I'm just reading the ingredients. It's actually got 24% double cream in it. So yeah, okay, not very good for vegans, but you know, it's quality food. You know, this pack contains 237 calories in what I've just had. I'm not sure how many calories was in the Thai soup, but yeah, very nice. Right, right, okay, so I've already touched upon the rule of threes, which is 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. There's other threes concerning SOS and survival as well. One of them is the word SOS. It's 3 letters, but in Morse code it's dot 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 dash 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 dot dot dot. It's fairly widely known, the Morse code for SOS. Now, if you want to draw attention to yourself at night time and you've got a torch, you can signal with the torch. A smoke grenade probably won't work. Well, it won't work at night because you're not going to be able to see it. You'd need something that creates light. So we've got a torch, so it's simply a small torch like this. You can put your thumb over the end of it to stop the light. So it's dot 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 dash 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 dot dot dot. Rather than turning it on and off all the time like that, because your button could fail, so it's best just to turn it on. Dot 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 dash 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 dot dot dot. As well as your torch, if you have a whistle, now on a paracord survival bracelet, you get a flint and steel, a small ferrocerium rod and a striker. A compass that I wouldn't trust, because I've walked around in a circle and it's pointed west all the time, so I wouldn't trust that compass. But one handy thing you do get is a whistle. So again, the SOS in conjunction with your torch. So that's your SOS. Now I hope there's no one in this area that's just heard that. They are quite powerful whistles on these paracord bracelets. You get them, these bracelets cost, last time I looked on Amazon, about £2 each. They're not expensive at all. I'm not going to be able to get it back on. But what I usually carry, I mean, I've got a dog Max, as you all know. What I usually carry with me is his whistle, but on the same cord is my Carry More survival whistle, which is just as loud as this one. So that's a little bit more about the threes. And obviously you've got your fire triangle as well. So you've got oxygen, heat and fuel to make fire. Without, take one of them away, you won't have a fire. So oxygen, heat source and fuel. So there, that's a little bit more about the rule of threes. It's not just, you know, your 3 minutes air and all that kind of thing. There is other threes as well. Now tomorrow when I get airlifted, I'm going to make myself as visible as possible because it's going to be daylight. So what I'll do is put this down, I'll put my bivvy bag down, and I'll put my emergency blanket down. Again, creates a triangle, the rule of threes, and then I'll stand in the middle with the smoke grenade and attract attention to himself. With SOS, it's all about making yourself as big as possible. Now if that means in snow, you could use potassium permanganate to mark the snow. I wouldn't just sprinkle the crystals down, mix it with some water solution, and then it will stain anything, that stuff, potassium permanganate. You could use fires. Now in the S.O.S survival book it says create 3 fire triangles, or 3 fires in a triangle. You can raise them off the floor. That takes an awful lot of time. And also building shelters, if you need to build a shelter, the ones that are in the S.O.S book, they take, you could probably build a debris shelter quite quickly. Within about an hour and a half you could probably build a simple debris shelter. But if you're just looking for something more permanent, you're looking at, you know, a few hours work at least. Now you've got to bear in mind that me just sat here, I'm still using about 800 calories just sitting here, just breathing. You know, blood going around my body. I'm using about 800 calories just sitting here. So if you're going to exert yourself with work, you want it to be as simple as possible, and you want to work as effectively and efficiently as possible. Otherwise you're just going to be burning all them calories up, and you're going to, you know, make trouble for yourself. So that's, I just wanted to say that little bit. What time is it now? It's 5:45 now. I think it starts getting dark about 6:15 now at this time of year. We're in March, it's the end of March. So yeah, it's it should start going dark soon, and then I'm going to crawl into this and see how we get on for tonight. I've just tested the temperature outside, and it is 7 degrees at the moment. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. So it's 7 degrees at the moment. One reason I brought the thermometer with me is because I want to test the outside temperature plus the inside temperature in there, and then when I'm in the bivvy bag, put this inside with it, and let's see how warm I do get. My hands are starting to get a little bit cold now, but that's because I've not been doing anything for the last 10 minutes. So like I say, if you're going to get one of these bracelets, I mean, I wouldn't recommend them. I've got it because someone gave it to me. But the compasses, I mean, if I move there and there, it's saying west. West is in that arc, so the compass is not to be trusted. There is metal on it, so remove the metal and then try it again. And the needle just stays where it is. So I wouldn't trust them. I'd just rather get a decent ferrocerium rod and a decent survival whistle and just hang it around your neck. That's what I would advise. Okay, one little mod that I've decided to do on this, rather than put the tent peg straight through, I've just put 4 pieces of paracord through the hole and then pegged them out to the tent peg. Just widens it a little bit more than what it was. If I can just come round here. It's more of a tenty kind of shape now. I think it's just a little bit better than the setup that I had. It's going to be a hell of a job to get in here, I know that much. So what I'm thinking of doing, guys, is throwing some of my kit inside now and take you inside and let's see how it looks from the inside. Just going to leave that outside to cool down a bit more. Right, that's me inside, guys. These are 2 windows. You can see out of them. I've rolled the blanket up a little bit because there's a bit of a gap around the outsides. So I've just rolled the blanket up, mainly to stop water getting in really if it starts raining. All my kit's down that side. I'm down this side. There's a little bit of room behind me, not much. But when it comes to lying down, what I'll do is stack my gear up in such a way to make a pillow, and then just try and get as comfy as I can. It doesn't feel too cold. I was sat outside before. I was sat outside before eating my meal, and I could feel the ground coldness coming up through my arse. But with this, I'm quite well insulated now. I was going to use spruce boughs, but I couldn't find a down spruce tree, so as you've seen, I just kicked a load of leaves, got some bracken and made it as thick as possible. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to be okay. It is going to be getting dark soon as well, so I just need to straighten that pole up a little bit that I've just noticed. That one's not too bad. But what I was thinking, yeah, was probably, let's have a look at the 4-man version of this, see if it's obviously going to be bigger, and then maybe adapt that one and just keep this one as a hiking storm shelter. That's maybe what I'll do. I'll try and make some kind of lightweight tent, do some muds on it and what have you, like I've just done outside, put the paracord on. I mean, that was just a rough job. If I take the time and actually sew loops on and what have you, I'm sure that'd be okay. The wind's not picking up that much. The wind's not picked up too much. So yeah, so what I'm going to do now is just get the thermometer out, just straighten that up first. That pole seems to be going that way a little bit. So I'm going to get the thermometer out, leave it outside for a bit, see what the temperature is. Leave it in here for a bit, see what the temperature in here is like. Then I'm going to light a tea light to see if that helps with the warmth. Okay, so there's the thermometer. It's starting to climb already, so I'm gonna leave that outside. I'll just leave it out there for 5 minutes, and then I'll bring it back in, and we'll see what the temperature difference is. Right, okay, time to bring the thermometer in. And it's saying 6 degrees outside, so I'm going to leave it in here now. Already it's started to climb. I'm going to leave it in here and see what temperature it is in here. Okay, it's at about 5 minutes and it's nearly 2 degrees warmer in here. So there's no wind chill outside. Obviously you have wind chill. There's a couple of degrees warmer in here. There is drafts coming up from where the shelter's not actually quite touching the ground, but like I say, I can do a mod to sort that out on a future shelter. So what I'm going to do now is light a tea light. A tea light, I've done a little bit of research, gives off 0.179 of a kilowatt in power. So I'm going to light one of them and see if that helps warm this up a little bit more. Okay, so we've got one tea light. Just going to put it in there. Now the thermometer is over here with me. Not that you can see it. We're losing light a little bit now, folks. So we'll just see if the little candle has any effect in here. Okay, it's just started raining, so this is going to be a good test for weatherproofing. It's only drizzling, you can hear a little pheasant in the background, but hopefully it comes down a bit heavier. We can give this thing a real good test. Okay guys, this is what we wanted. It's raining quite a bit heavier now. There's no condensation on the inside yet. Just keep making sure that the air vent's open. A little bit of draft coming from underneath where it's not quite reaching the floor, but I'll just keep pulling the emergency blanket up over the draft, and once I'm in my bivvy that won't affect me at all. So I've just got the candle configured a little bit differently now. Okay, that's how I've got the candle now. Just turned the can from being upright to lay it down, to a laid down position, and the temperature in here now is, I don't know if you can see that, yeah, 10 degrees. It's going up a little bit because I'm near the candle. If I put it up here away from the candle, 11 degrees, so it is pulling the temperature up a little bit. I mean, that's above head height, so if I do it at head height, yeah, it's fairly steady at 11 degrees. So I'd say between 10 and 11 degrees, so it's made a 2 degree difference just having the little candle in here. Okay, got me the other half of my ration pack out, the snacks and nuts and that kind of thing. So I'm going to try the army ration ones, and I'm going to try the oatmeal block. Okay, I'm going to give you my honest opinion of what's happening.
I have been to sleep. I've probably had about an hour and a half sleep. What I found is the bivvy bag is becoming too condensated to warrant full body sleeping in it. So I put my smock on, I put my gloves on, got my chômage on, so I'm trying to keep the top half of me as warm as possible. It's just, what I'm finding is I daren't move in it. I'm getting pressure spots on my hips. Usually that's sorted out by just switching positions, but I don't want to switch positions in this bivvy because I'm just going to get wet through with all the condensation. They're not designed to be slept in for long periods. If you're up on the side of a mountain, or if you're on a hillside and it's peeing it down and you're critical, you need rescue, you'd be okay in one of these fully clothed, I'd say for about an hour and a half to 2 hours before it starts condensating. And obviously I would suggest that you sit upright in it so that most of the hot air can escape out the top, because obviously steam, hot air, it rises. So what I've done is I've put my smock on and everything else, got geared up, and I've just rolled it down a little bit. I mean, these are waterproof. My trousers are waterproof, so I'm not too worried about that, although my socks aren't waterproof. So what I've just done is rolled it down, and I'm just going to try and sleep with it about halfway, and hopefully the survival blanket will be okay for me top half, but I'll let you know as we go on. So it's 2:05 now. I'm getting up quite early anyway. I'm getting up about 7 o'clock anyway, so we'll just see how it pans out. It did get quite a bit breezy before, but as you can see, the shelter's still up. It did get breezy, but yeah, I'm surviving. I'm not particularly over comfortable. I haven't got my creature comforts with me, but everything's doing its job. I'm still here. I'm not hypothermic. Easy for me to say. So yeah, I'll bring you back on with the progress report. If I manage to sleep the full night, then so be it. If I don't, then I'll be doing another piece of camera. Right, okay, I'll stop waffling. That's just my thoughts, just what's happening at this moment in time. Morning guys, just getting a little bit of heat into the place. I've got a hexamine block on top of my my titanium cup. I've upturned the lid on it. Just getting a bit of heat in the place. Like I said last night, it is very damp to sleep in one of them emergency bivvies. I really do need a breathable one, but you'd be okay for about an hour to 2 hours. If you was awaiting rescue, that'd be fine, but not for overnight. You get too wet. I mean, the end of my boot at one point was proper wet, so that's the way that goes. Right, so I'm not going to hang about with the brew and what have you. I need to get straight on the phone, make this emergency call. I have taken the bandage off just to stop any risk of stopping me circulation, so I won't have that on for the rest of the day. But the scenario is we've got to go and signal the helicopter, so we'll make the phone call and then we'll be on our way. Right, okay guys, it's a bit windy, but what I've done is laid my all my survival stuff out in a triangle. I'm going to stand in the middle. I'm going to take the camera up there so you can just see how effective this is. Okay, I can hear the helicopter.
which is good. I know it's on its way. I can't see it yet. As soon as I see it, I need to start signalling. Okay, so the key to being seen is make yourself as big as possible. So you're probably only about 50 metres away from the site down there. A plane would easily see that from above, and now we'll let the smoke grenade off. Right, okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. This was just my my little take on survival, search and rescue and SOS. The next video I said might be about the lightweight stuff, but I might wait till I get a 4-man version of that storm shelter. I'll have a think about what I'm doing next. So hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I've got the general idea over that I want to highlight and illustrate. And I'll see you all again on the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.